What's up guys, JV2017 here, and today we're looking at the list of achievements for Wasteland Workshop, which is the next piece of DLC coming to Fallout 4 sometime this month. We're not sure exactly on a release date, on a concrete date, but we do know it's coming sometime here this month in April. This information was sort of leaked, more like shared by somebody on some kind of Steam-looking website for achievements. I'm not really sure on that, but it was shared on our Fallout by a redditor named Retrogenesis. So I've left a link to the original post in the description below where I found this info if you guys want to check that out. Today we're going to look at these achievements, their descriptions, and their pictures to get an idea of what kind of content we can expect from Wasteland Workshop. And I can tell you guys overall, it's a lot of what we expected and could tell already from the official description we already had for this DLC. First up is Docile, and the description here is have 5 tamed creatures in a settlement. Of course, we knew already that Wasteland Workshop is all about designing and setting cages to trap live creatures. That's the whole point of it, and we also knew that we would have to tame the creatures in some way. So if we kind of compare this to Robot Hunter, that's an achievement for the Automatron DLC, which was to find 10 robot mods, that seemed like a small number at first, and it made me wonder if we wouldn't be seeing a ton of customization with robot companions. Now that Automatron is out, we can safely say that Robot Hunter barely scratched the surface in terms of the number of mods and customization options. So that's what I hope is going on with this achievement and, this number 5. I genuinely hope there isn't like a 10 creature limit, because it would suck to have to let other creatures go or kill them to make room for more. Now, obviously, I don't expect to have like 50 creature cages all around one settlement, but I'm sure they'll have some kind of comfortable limit for cages. I'm not worried, I'm just kind of speculating on this number that they gave us. And as for the picture, we see a friendly neighborhood Deathclaw chilling with a Vault Boy, and that's really all we can get from this picture. It's very simple, and I kind of thought maybe there's a chance that when they say tamed creatures, maybe these creatures are just walking around and they're friendly like we see in this picture. I could be reading into it too much, but there has been a friendly Deathclaw in this game. When you return the Deathclaw egg in the Museum of Witchcraft side quest, you kind of meet a friendly Deathclaw, or not so friendly, but it just doesn't attack you. It's docile, like the name of this achievement. So it just got me thinking maybe we'll have these creatures walking around our settlements, or maybe this is just a picture, just kind of a visualization, and in reality we'll have just a bunch of more tame creatures in cages. Next up is Instigator, and the description here is start a spectated arena fight in a settlement. So we also knew that we would have our creatures face off in an arena type scenario. So this achievement just confirms we already, expected that we could do that. And it also says spectated fight, which is something we saw in the only image we have for this DLC. When all of this was revealed, we can see that the settlers are watching the arena battle from the wall. And I'm not really sure if a spectated arena fight is a standard arena battle for this DLC, or if there's something special that you need to do in order to have your settlers watching, or in order for it to be spectated. I suppose it really doesn't matter in the end either way. I just think it would be kind of cool to put some posters around, maybe advertising your new spectated arena fight or battle, maybe sell some tickets for caps, something like that. I think it'd be a really cool little mechanic. I don't really expect that, but it's just something to talk about here. Also, we have our next picture. It seems to be a mole rat boxing a shirtless man, or a settler, or some kind of man, which is pretty funny. It doesn't really tell us anything. Our third and final achievement is called Trapper, and its description is build one of every cage type. Again, we knew we could design cages, so this is no surprise. This doesn't tell us how many cages we will have, what the limit is like I talked about before, or what the difference in cages will be. And I speculated when this first wave of DLC was announced that maybe the cage would differ based on animal type or creature type, and maybe their size, for example, or how hard they are to, keep in a cage, how sturdy the cage needs to be. So, for example, with the size, you'd need small cages for rad roaches, mole rats, mongrel dogs, things like that. Maybe medium cages for rad scorpions, raiders and ghouls, human-sized, enemies. Next, you could have large cages for Deathclaws or super mutants, larger opponents. And then finally, extra large for Mirelurk queens and behemoths. I don't know if that's realistic, but it would be very cool if we could trap those huge things. I just don't think we'd be able to, contain them in our arenas. At least from this picture we have so far, seems like a pretty low wall for the arena that could contain a Deathclaw, but definitely not a behemoth or a Mirelurk queen. As for the idea of having more reinforced cages, obviously obviously if you have a super mutant or a Deathclaw, you'd need, you know, like reinforced steel or, you know, some kind of component, something like that. These are just some ideas that I've been thinking about, and I think they would make a lot of sense in this kind of cage design building, you know, system they're going to have in this DLC. This last picture is also kind of funny with the rabbit trap. We know we're not going to be trapping rabbits. I don't even think there are rabbits in Fallout 4 or any Fallout game I've played, although we are going to be trapping creatures a lot bigger, but it does raise an interesting kind of point. We see the carrot there is the bait. Are we going to have to craft some kind of bait? Is there going to be a specific bait for the type of creature we're going after? That would make sense. You know, some kind of Deathclaw, you know, bait, I guess would be human meat or something, because Deathclaws seem to really like humans. In fact, I'm sure they'd love the taste of Marcy Long or Mama Murphy. I'm looking at both of you. That's all I have for you guys today. I wanted to ask you, though, before we go, let me know in the comments section below. Do you have any observations on these achievements? Anything you can kind of glean from what we've seen and talked about here today? Any concerns you have with this DLC based on these achievements? I don't see any really concerns. Again, this is only a $5 DLC, so it makes sense that we only have 3 achievements to work with. Share all of what you guys are thinking in the comments below. Alright guys, today we looked at the leaked achievements for the upcoming Wasteland Workshop DLC for Fallout 4. And next time we will cover more Fallout on my channel, so stay tuned for Fallout 4 tips and tricks videos. If you learned something new, remember to hit that like button, I would really appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe for more survival mode coverage, Automatron DLC, obviously Wasteland Workshop DLC coverage, and general tips and tricks videos. Talk to you guys next time. Peace.